You've survived the engineered exhaustion of the algorithmic feed. You've shaken off the apathy and dug through the noise, and you finally pull a verifiable piece of reality to the surface. You hold the receipt. You bring this proof back to your friends, your family, or your coworkers. You expect a wake-up call. Instead, you get blank stares. People get defensive. They reject the data without looking. In 1847, a physician named Ignaz Semmelweis proved that healthcare workers washing their hands drastically reduced maternal mortality rates. He had the empirical evidence, yet the medical establishment responded with institutional ridicule. They threw him into an asylum for offending their professional decorum. This is the Cassandra algorithm. Instead of debating your facts, institutional power neutralizes you by preemptively applying a socially radioactive label. They tag you as fringe, a conspiracy theorist, or a radical. This mechanism is efficient because it is self-policing. The institution doesn't need to censor the truth if it can condition society to view the truth-teller as a pariah, turning regular citizens into unpaid sentinels guarding the boundaries of their own prison. The modern digital landscape has upgraded this snare to nullify physical evidence using a psychological exploit called the liar's dividend. The liar's dividend relies on the public's general awareness of deepfakes and generative AI. It provides powerful figures with a permanent shield of plausible deniability, allowing them to instantly dismiss authentic, damaging evidence as synthetic fabrications. During a 2023 wrongful death lawsuit, lawyers attempted to evade liability by refusing to authenticate recorded statements made by CEO Elon Musk. They argued that because Musk is a public figure, the court could not assume the video footage was real. Political actors use this globally. During a crisis in Gabon, an unedited video of the president was released to project stability. Opponents seized on his stilted movements to declare the video a deepfake. The resulting epistemic confusion served as direct justification for an attempted military coup. The system doesn't have to generate fake news. By merely planting the suggestion of AI manipulation, they reverse the burden of proof. They force truth-tellers to hire expensive forensic experts just to prove reality is real, effectively pricing accountability out of the justice system. The architecture of this control relies on the jailer's paradox. An extractive system doesn't need physical bars if it can successfully curate apathy and limit the horizon of human imagination. The system relies on agreements of sameness. It expects you to perform the standard script, fighting back with predictable outrage and engaging in endless arguments over decorum. This triggers identity-protective cognition. When facts contradict a group's narrative, the brain registers a threat to social survival, causing an automatic shutdown. Fighting this cognitive shield with brute force causes viper burnout. The Cassandra expends all energy screaming, while the system maintains the status quo. Screaming the truth louder only validates the institution's script that you are a radical. It ensures your isolation. To bypass this firewall, you must abandon the predictable script of outrage entirely. If brute force facts trigger the firewall, the only way to breach the system is through an exploit called serious play. Serious play is strategy disguised as whimsy. It is the absolute discipline of refusing to be bored by the system's predictability or confined by its curated apathy. To move past the horizon of the horizontal war, you execute the long zoom. The long zoom works by pulling your perspective out to a structural distance. From this multi-century vantage point, the seemingly invincible maze of the institutional prison is revealed to be a finite, fragile construct. By shifting your perspective to the multi-century scale, the lethal despair of systemic control is replaced by the realization that you are looking at a manageable architecture. You can operationalize this shift through tactical frivolity. By intentionally violating the unwritten rules of professional decorum, a rebel forces a cognitive reset in their environment. Historical resistance groups, like the rebel clowns of Circa, used absurd joy to disrupt behavioral matrices. Their whimsy created a breach that rigid, militarized systems had no pre-written script to counter. This works because joy creates cognitive dissonance. The aesthetic signals safety, allowing the underlying message to slip past the identity-protective cognition firewall without triggering a defensive response. This directly dismantles the Cassandra algorithm. Playfulness removes the heavy social penalty of being the truth teller. It makes the act of listening attractive rather than exhausting, lowering the activation energy required for others to join you. Refusing to validate the system's predictability breaks the agreement of sameness. It proves that the horizontal pressure of the tribe only works if everyone agrees to keep looking down, making the act of joining a high-trust network a viable, collaborative choice.